things from Hyundai, the Hyundai Assurance Program. It's back to this point about empathy and respect. Hyundai grew 14% in a down market. Federal Express, really great program with free resume day. Toll Brothers, basically understanding that consumers couldn't get mortgages, so what they did is they were able to go direct to the consumer. The last rule is this post-crisis consumerism focus on the return to the fold. We're seeing a return to values. We're seeing a return to the home. We're seeing a return to the people that you can trust, whether it's in your Twitter network or whether it's in people in your neighborhood. And this consumer strategy we're seeing manifest itself as cooperative consumerism. This means consumers banding together to buy products, sometimes to set prices, and other times to disintermediate companies to get greater values. And lastly, the management principle that goes along with that is leveraging your digital, your understanding of search and social media in order to actually create communities around your brand and with your brand. Cooperative consumerism is evident through many disruptive technologies, Prosper.com, Mint.com, Etsy, and Yelp, for example. And when we see the types of things that are happening, we see really powerful ideas from some of the best companies out there. A couple of quick examples. I thought from a community standpoint, what Walmart is doing with 11 Moms. Has anybody seen 11 Moms? That's fantastic program. But what they've understood is that they have these moms that are basically serving as their active listening post into the marketplace, and also their sort of external consumer advisory board. So 11 Moms is interesting. Walmart is also doing something really neat with checkoutblog.com. And this comes from the insight that consumers don't necessarily trust companies, but they trust the people that come from these companies. So what Walmart has done is created a list of bloggers that blog on everything from household goods to lawn and garden to sustainability. And that's become quite successful for them as well. And then we look at Zappos. We'll hear Tony tomorrow, but Zappos and Tony's following is just astronomical on Twitter. And we're seeing very effective use of Twitter strategies. Zappos has not only used their Twitter strategy to help deal with painful restructuring where they allowed people to kind of stay inside the network to help them get jobs, but it's really built the brand on the back of the employees. Another social media strategy, I think, from Ford and Scott Monty, who has got a really strong following of over 14,000 people, again points to the fact that the individual inside your company can be very powerful in defining and helping with your community relations and your PR. But all across the board, we see really great ideas. Johnson & Johnson's very powerful new website, Momversation, that has become so popular that brands like Target are actually advertising on this space. If you Google the words mommy blogger, what you see is really the rise of social media, the tipping of it, and the power of women and moms in this space to really kind of guide and create influence. And I guess lastly, Sun Microsystems and Jonathan Schwartz's blog, where he promises to answer people, anyone who writes to him, and basically creates an open platform for talking about the future of where Sun is going. So a whole host of different ideas that are in there. I've gone through them quite quickly, but what I wanted to kind of suggest to you is that you have this tremendous opportunity right now with your alignment between the CMO, the marketing function, and the C-suite. And this is a time to really set your strategies, to be opportunistic, and to understand that your brand is your most powerful asset that you have during this time. And what we're seeing in our data is that consumers are asking for the brand to not just give us platitudes, but to give you tangible evidence that you want my business and that you're going to be there for me in the future. And I'd also then kind of lastly say that marketing so often is thought of as a cost. And what I write about in my book is that marketing is actually a fiduciary responsibility to shareholders. Because if brand value is a third of the operating value in your company and consumers are falling out of love with many of the brands that they buy, the opportunity really is incumbent on protecting and enhancing shareholder value through the person who creates that value in the first place, which is the consumer. And lastly, the Chinese character for crisis also means opportunity. And I think that's really the spirit of this conference, is how do we look at the crisis that faced the consumer and use this as an opportunity to build and enhance long-term value. Thank you.